when you thought about getting on the call with Lindell, what was it that you wanted to take away from it?
Just a more foundation sort of learning from it all. I have read Neville. I've got all of his books. And been watching a lot of people on the law of assumption, things like that. And I think I've confused myself somewhere along the way.
Okay.
So I thought if I actually learn from someone who's actually learned from Neville, I can get a better understanding and not confuse myself.
Okay, good. Let me see what he wanted to get from it, and then I'll let you go on and give your input. But give me 1 sec. What did you want to take from
it? The fact that Lindell is a sort of living connection to Neville.
Absolutely.
I can't explain why, but I find that to be quite precious. And so that's why I thought, yeah, just the opportunity's here. So take it. And fundamentally, when I listen to you guys, I think I understand the core message. What are you thinking, feeling me? And that's what I carry with me now as much as I can, just being aware. What am I thinking, feeling me? So yeah, thank you to you both for everything. And why I'm here is just to carry forward that, drilling that in. What am I thinking, feeling all the time? Yeah, thank you. Thank you to you both.
Wonderful. So, Linda, you were about ready to start speaking, so I'll let you have it. So both of them basically, first and foremost, they appreciate that you're a part of Neville still living, and they wanted to be a part of that, but both take away from this thinking, feeling. So I'll let you take it from there. And guys, if you have questions, do the hand raise so that I can acknowledge you, and then we can bring you in and have you ask your questions. But listen, you got a prime opportunity here. Take advantage of it. And he loves to share with you. He can talk almost as much as I can. So I'll let you have it, sir.
But you get better results from what I say.
That's true. I'll let you have it.
Yeah, well, understand one thing. This is coming through me, not from me. That I just wanted that to make clear. And first of all, you don't need anything. You just use what you already have. Mind. The theater of mind. That's what you're to take charge of, because you're to be in control, and you have to claim that control, but it is you claiming. No, I was going to say the man's question. I didn't quite hear that he was on his own side.
I remember you saying that because I've been listening to your metaphysical theatre CDs. I downloaded them on Audible, and I remember you saying that. And I listen to them every morning before I go to work. Which, well, at least one of them. I work as a welder, so I listen to them as I work.
Fantastic.
And as I say, because I remember you saying like you must repeat and listen to it continuously to kind of keep the message going. So I like how you said being on my own side, because it's something I say I try to do. I have moments here and there, but I don't exactly. It's a fleeting moment, so to speak.
You don't have moments; you have forever. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to be somewhere, sometime, because there's nothing transforming, even in death. See, in other words, like I've always said, if you played ding dong, you could play ding dong again. It's really that simple, because you're always thinking ahead of your evidence. You understand that? Always thinking ahead of the evidence that you're experiencing. It's as within, so without. So you're in charge, but you have to take charge. See,
yeah.
we're put here to direct our own inner self-talk. Because if you don't regulate it to your desires, you'll be picking up everybody else's desires from whoever's around you, because you're on all the time. That's one thing people don't really understand. You're on all the time, and that means actually every word out of your mouth, every word has a value. You understand? Every word must be accounted for. Every word. Come on. Think about it. Every word must be accounted for. And you're the one who is saying your valid say, and you do have a valid say. So there right there's a warning. It's value, but it'll go either way, positive or negative. You see, and will produce results just as quickly, even if it's negative, just as quickly as a positive. Why not think positive?
True. Yeah. Does that even account for within conversations? Like, even say I'm talking with a colleague at work, even then it's something I need to even think ahead of what I'm saying to someone else. Is it even to that depth?
It always applies. You're on all the time. You're praying ceaselessly, you're told. Praying. And if you tell me, well, I'm not religious. Yeah, you're religiously doing something, even just breathing. So that doesn't make any difference. You're a thinking, feeling being. And what you're thinking, feelingly about, you're experiencing. And you can say no to that, no to that. And all that means is that you just haven't tested it. And that's all you have to do is test it. Test me now herewith and see if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. You don't even have room to receive it all. What a request. I mean, come on. You receive not because you ask not, or you're asking this. Simple as that. You know, people are always asking me, can you make it simple? I can't give it to you any simpler than the fact that as you think you are, you do, you have, you be, consciously or unconsciously, but believe me, consciously is really much better. You actually are in control. Even if you're out of control, that's where most of us are. Double-mindedness, you see. I mean, you know, I toyed with getting rid of that for years, but it was always there. You're always thinking ahead of your evidence. You understand that? If I move my hand or arm, I've always thought it ahead of my evidence of doing so. And as long as you understand that you're thinking ahead of what you're going to be experiencing, you might have a kind of a change of heart about what you're thinking about. And you're told, think on things lovely and of good report. Why tell you to do that if you say you can't? You're choosing your world moment by moment. You understand? You're setting up your future moment by moment, thinking feelingly about what? Because the what is very important, because that's what you'll be experiencing. And if it's not lovely and a good report, well, you know, there you are. You did it to yourself. See, that was really a hard thing for me to get, that it was all my own fault.
I'm playing with my screen I'm trying to get myself to see myself, so I apologize. Keep on talking. Guys, listen, if you got any questions.
That's what we're trying to do, to get everybody to see themselves.
Good analogy. Listen, I want to interrupt because I know that you said something and I want to go back to it. You said, you know, listen, it took me years, to be mindful of those thoughts that I'm thinking and staying on track with those thoughts. And you often will say, even occasionally, you get off track. And I like people to know that this is not something that you do perfectly one time, but it's an ongoing journey. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, you see, that's one of the benefits, is that every time I give these talks, I get a new idea. It's as you give, you receive. It's in all things, as you give, you receive.
You got a question?
Yeah, the other one was revision, which is, I know one thing that Neville always says in his lectures, if he could teach one thing and one thing only, it would be revision.
What is it that do you have a challenge with revision, or when you think about revision, you said that was one of the tools that Neville talked about. What are the challenges that you may experience with revision?
I guess it would be from where I've watched so many videos on the topic. I've got confused of how it's done. Like I thought you go into imagination, like change the scene physically, like you remember what scene went wrong and you change it, or is it more the reaction to the scene?
You're always thinking ahead of your evidence. You understand? Right now, even while I'm speaking to you, you're talking to yourself. What are you saying? What are you thinking? Because it isn't falling into the past, it's being projected into your future.
Ah. Yeah, that's a light bulb moment there.
Personally, I often wonder, with revision, sometimes we can revision to such an extent that history's undone. And when you're revising at that extent, you don't remember. A lot of times, so you step into a new reality, as it were, because, of course, by revising that old reality, that old one no longer exists. So you ever had that moment of deja vu?
Yes, multiple times.
I often see that as remnants of something that we've done already before. So a lot of times when we revise, we're doing it all the time. And you're like, somebody will bring something up to you and they'll say, do you remember blah, blah, blah? And you're like, well, no, I don't quite remember. And they have a totally different memory of an event that you participated in, but you don't see that event as the exact same way, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But like Mr. Lindell said, you're always projecting that new thought forward, not into the past.
Yeah, the whole idea is to get used to feeling you're told as you think you are. And if you're thinking wonderful, you feel wonderful. You see, life is a mood. You get the right mood, you sort of stroll through. It's these bad moods you get into, they screw everything up. And it has your permission. You see, even God doesn't need your help, he needs your permission. See, he gave you choose this day. And whether you're aware of it or not, it's always this day. And I can tell you, I wasn't aware of it. And so I kept tripping over my own feet, as it were. I had a half a dozen of Neville's tapes, and I listened to them at least one every night for years before it actually touched base. I began thinking differently. The importance of having a CD, because what has your focus has your life. Think about it. We're not asking you to join anything, but you have to have the CDs. You have to have the DVDs. You have to listen to them. It's you training this. Listen, listen, listen.
But as Mr. Lindell stated, you have to listen to them repeatedly. And again, for those who are interested, click the link below and it will take you to the 4 CD set, and you'll be able to transform not only your mind, but your world.